Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to replace a bad hose bib. So I've got this hose bib on the outside of my house here that whenever I turn on the hose, the anti-siphon valve on this thing just drips like crazy. And when you shut it off, I mean, it does that and gets you real soaked. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to replace it with this. All right, the first thing I've got to do is shut the water off to the house. Now, lucky for me, I've got a valve right here in my garage that makes it super easy. But you may have to go out to your curb. Every house is going to be a little bit different, but all I've got to do is do that and my water's off. Now we're gonna go back to the valve. So luckily for me, this hose bib wasn't soldered on. It is on, it's just a compression fitting with a copper pipe. So I'm gonna have to let this run out for a second. I got a lot of water in my house. Gonna wanna have all that drain out. Otherwise I'm gonna be working in water. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one wrench, I'm gonna put it on the hose bib, put the other one on the fitting here. And this is just a compression fitting. That's all. It's not much. So, probably loosen that up myself now. That's it. Now, the threads are probably the same. And it has this little compression fitting for the brass that would go on. It's already there, you can see it right here from before. I'm just gonna stick this on, see if I can reuse the old fittings first. And if I can, then I don't have anything to worry about. I don't have to pull that piece off and put the new one on. I've been able to do it before and it's not giving me a problem. So we're just gonna tighten this back up here while that water's dripping out of the house. You don't have to like torque this down all hard. It's just when it gets nice and tight, it seats down. That's it. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go turn the water back on. But I want to show you the difference. I didn't put this anti-siphon portion back on. What this does is it makes it so if your hose is ever in anything and say the fire department comes and pumps, you know, there's a house on fire or something like that, and they suck water back through your house, or whatever event may happen where your water gets sucked back to your house. This is going to prevent any water or anything else that your hose has on it or in it, dipped in, whatever like that, from the water going back into your house. I hate these things because they go bad, so I didn't put it on, so I just got a regular hose bib. Go ahead and turn the water back on. We're going to test this thing for leaks. Turn this water on slowly so it doesn't just absolutely hammer the pipes in the house when I put it on, because we've added a lot of air to the lines in the house. So I'm gonna turn this on like that. And you can hear the water filling back up through the pipes, and so as you can hear it getting closer, then I'll open it all the way up. There we go. All the air is out. Well, after I check for leaks on that hose bib, we'll go upstairs and we'll open up all the faucets and make sure that all the air is out of all the lines upstairs in the house too. All right, so the water's back on. No leaks, everything's dry, and water came out, so success. So for this change out, all I used were two tools. I just had a crescent wrench, box end wrench. You could use two crescent wrenches if you want to. It's pretty quick and simple. And as you can see, I didn't even have to use the compression fitting that came with the new one. I reused the old one. So all in all, pretty quick. Took me about 4 minutes, probably a little bit longer just because I was recording things. Okay, so I didn't just replace the one hose bib. I replaced this one here in my backyard too. The other one was on the side of my house. Anyway, it has still just the slightest little drip here. And that was with me reusing the crush sleeve and everything else. So what I'm gonna do now, I've shut the water off on the house. I'm gonna open this thing up, and I'm gonna put this new brass crush sleeve on with the nut and see if that solves the problem. I mean, it is just barely leaking, but over time, I mean, that's gonna be a ton of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, take these off. And I had tightened it and tightened it and tightened it as far as it was gonna go, and it was not gonna tighten up anymore, so go ahead and use new hardware. Now, I can actually see the problem here. So if you come look at this real quick. So the way that this is on here now, this copper is completely compressed here and pinched. I'm actually gonna have a heck of a time getting this compression ring off. I'm probably gonna have to come in here and actually cut this copper pipe right here, because they did it when they put the original one on, or I did it when I tried to clamp this thing down and keep it from leaking. I really crimped this pipe real good. So I'm gonna come in here. If you look real careful, you can see that the copper pipe is actually pinched right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this for a minute to take this brass ring off. I just have a hacksaw here. I'm gonna come in real close, right on the edge of that brass crimp ring. You can see that crush ring. I really messed it up, probably when I tried to tighten it to get rid of it. Or like I said, it could have been before. Anyway, we're gonna get rid of that. And that nut. Make sure there's no burrs on that copper pipe. Just gonna come in here with a rag. Tighten it up a little bit. So I'm gonna put my nut on first. That crush sleeve on there, like that. Seat that hose bib on like that. Make sure you don't cross thread it, because that's what I just did. There we go. I'll tighten with my wrenches. As you saw, wrenching down on it too hard is actually worse. So lucky for me, I had enough copper to do that. If I didn't, then I would have had to have either got another hose bib that I could have, excuse me, fog in my throat. Another hose bib that I could have soldered onto the copper pipe, or I would have had to come into the wall, get a little extra pipe, put an extension on it. So lucky for me, I was able to do this. So go ahead and turn the water on now and see if this thing holds water. All right, I've got the water back on, and in my hand here, it's dry as a bone. So successful. So as you can see, sometimes you can reuse the hardware that was on your house, sometimes you can't. And when I did, caused a little bit of a problem, and then I had to find a way to solve it. Probably easier in the future to just always replace those rings and the nut, but I've had good luck doing it both ways. This is actually the first time I've run into a problem with doing it, but now that I've had a problem doing it, I'll be sure to replace that every time. Hey, thanks for tuning in with me at Build with BC. If you find value in any of these projects that I've been doing, please like, subscribe, share, or do whatever the heck you're supposed to do with YouTube videos out there. I'd appreciate it.